2008 Chevy HHR SS. There's the running boards. That's what we're going to be taking off to show you how to do it a lot easier than not. Now I'll show you what I found underneath.
That's what was underneath it. I see why I was after taking it off. Nice hole, huh? Not much there left. But, yeah. Me, why you want to take yours off?
Alright. I'm going to show you this in reverse. Since I was unable, I was literally laying on the floor on my back taking this off from under the car. I had no way, no hoist or nothing. So there's no way I could take a video of it while I'm laying on my back and screaming and swearing at it. So I'm going to show you in reverse. The way I'm putting it together is the way you should take it apart. Okay, so we got, here's your running board. I left the clips on it so you can see how they go. This is your little plastic filler. And then you got the reinforcement, metal reinforcement. That's pretty much what bolts into the brackets. There's little studs here, one there and one in the back. You have to be careful when you take this apart. Those are plastic and they're hollow. They definitely don't come apart easy, and when they do come apart they break, because I broke one and I had to glue it back on. And you also have little ears, snaps in here. So basically snap it in. Make sure you get all snaps. These, like I said, are plastic and they do break. Do not try to do it in the car. You don't have to do these in order to get the running board off. I'm oiling it so the nut goes on easy. Try so it don't break it going on. Everything's clean, painted. This thing was so covered in rust, you can see the rust, what's left of the metal. Hand, putting it on. Don't grab your torque wrench, forget it. If you break it, then you got to take it. I actually got a screw coming through the back side because they're actually hollow. So I actually tapped it. I got a screw on the back side holding it on. And all I'm doing is getting it basically to touch. In fact, with this being all corroded, this wouldn't fit in there. So I actually used a pair of pliers so you can watch it until, you know, soak it with oil and then pay attention to the plastic. And you're trying to undo the nut and you see the plastic move, stop. Keep working it back and forth till the nut comes loose. Otherwise you're just going to twist it right off. That's it. I'm pretty sure this was on there for assembly. You know, because assembly line crap, they usually sub-assemble it and then they turn around and put the whole chunk on. And the back one, I'm going to do the same. Oil it up. Get that on. Okay, so this is, like I said, this will be the end. When you take, after the end, you get this off first, and then work with these nuts, because then they're easy to work with. When you're laying on your back and trying to figure out which ones you got to loosen, which takes it off and what don't take it off. And you're aggravated and pissed off, and nobody would actually tell me to sequence. So I just did a little at a time, loosening up bolts, because they were all rusty. I just want to have to touch. I don't want the 30 pounds of torque on it. In fact, I think this is the one I broke. Now it's on there, it ain't going nowhere. All the little tabs are locked. That's what we're after. Okay, these are the clips. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you got a guide pin. Instead of trying, this is a fresh one. Instead of trying to squeeze this or get it off, the best way I come up with is cutting them off using an X-Acto with a flat blade on it, and just get in there, pop it up, just break them off. That was easy. Just it takes a couple smacks with your hand and they're gone. Don't cut that one. I did, and I had to make one up and put it in there. That's just a guide pin for it. So when they put it on, they got a good idea what it's supposed to be, and then they pop all the clips in. When the clips, these just pop off. Oh, on a better day. They just come off. That's the old one. This is the new one. Same thing, just slide it back in, it locks in. So we end up putting all fresh ones on. These, double check the part number on the ones you're supposed to have. That's the part number mine was supposed to be, and I just punched that in, and when they came up, just looking for the best deal I could get, and believe it or not, I found these on eBay. Like that's the first anyway, huh? It's the same thing. We're going to put these on. Just go down. Pop them on. So we got 5 total. Said, dude, I was just aggravated because I'm laying on my back and I'm just, and I pull this out and crap, wrong. So don't do it. The last one. Those are all the clips. So now there's this assembly clips into that also. Okay, now this is attached, pretty much not going anywhere. This goes like that, and you've seen these before. The 2-piece clips, push them in, they lock. These are one way. I like putting oils on these too, so they just go together easier. And they go here. There's 4 holes. I'm going to push them through. I try to index them so that you got to get them out again. The screwdriver slot will be there on the bottom. That one, all set to go. Said there's 4 of them. wasn't bad, except I can't believe nobody actually knew the sequence. I tell you, some of the stuff was really driving me nuts, I'll tell you that. And the last one. Same thing. So now these two pieces, this is all assembled. Technically, that goes right on. Okay. These will probably come off again when I go to do the body work. Okay, now the brackets for these. That's these things. This would actually go to the body. It'll go like this. This part bolts to the body, and it's just a pinch clamp down on the very lower portion of the body where the panels are welded together. All of this is a squeeze-me clamp. Those are the only bolts you got. So technically, you got the two bolts on the end, and these bolts. Let me spin this around real quick. Okay. So then these are going to go on there like this. And you're going to have these kind of bolts are going to hold that like that. This will be bolted to the body first. So you got to do that first. Or let's say after you get this off, then you can take these off. But that'll go like that. These are Torx bolts. These were a pain to get loose because they were stuck, and I lost one because it stripped out before I get it off. Like I said, this goes on there, and this will just pinch on the very bottom two panels, just to steady it. But these are the bolts. There's three of these. And have them here and here, and then one down there. These are the bolts. These two bolts and these 6 bolts are the only bolts you got to take off in order to get this off. But take your time, because these are stuck bad, and using a 30 torque, either these are totally dirty, you can't get it in, or it's stuck, or you got a cheap Torx and it just breaks and you got to start all over. But that's it. So you got a little, one end's got a 10mm, the other one's got a 7mm bolt. The one in back there's a steel plate here, and it got a cage nut, and then a regular 10mm or 5mm bolt, or 6mm bolt with a 10 socket. That panel was gone, so I had to play around to grab that with pliers to get that loose. So that may be a problem. The problem is nothing. Just don't have to pull no panels, don't have to do nothing. Just take the bolts out on either end. Take these off, these 6, and this comes right off. Simple, except the bolts aren't. And now I'll show you. See how these clips are. Figure the body's right here, and there's no way you can get these clips to come out. I was told you just can get, and they don't. And they say you can get them from the top. I would imagine if you could pull it out far enough, but I was concerned that above this is good paint, you know, and all of a sudden if you start scratching that, now you got touch up to do. So you can actually see this from the bottom real easy without dicking around too much. Get these 6 bolts out, and this will have a little looseness to it, and I pried it out a little, came here with that, you know, because this is right up against the paint. Pull it out a little and get right there. A couple good hits, and just cut that right off. Just go start at one end. Don't do that one. This one. Then the front's the last one. This will come right off. And after I said, after you get it off, disassemble it the way I showed you, the way I put it opposite the way I put it together. Do these clips first. Take this off, and then if you want to clean it very carefully, I use pliers and oil it real good, you know, it's a penetrating oil, and try not to twist that plastic off. So like I say, using it with pliers, you can see if it's still stuck, and kind of work it loose, and once you get it loose, then you're okay, then you can just very easily back it off. Because I broke one laying under there figuring that's part of it, and it's not. So, this right now, these just have to be put back on the body. This is ready to go back on right now. This just got to go on the body. I said it'll be like this. These are 2 screws here, pinch clamp on the bottom, and then that just sets on top of that. And like I said, you don't have to take the inner fender wells out or nothing. You don't have to loosen them. Just take the 2 screws out. And that'll be it. There you go. That's ready to go. This is, I don't know. If you want to try doing it that way, coming down here and breaking them, I was just, because you got a weather strip here. And I tried just popping the clips off in the weather strip, and all I did was break the clips, and you can't get any clips. So it's like, when you're laying underneath it doing the bolts, they're right there out in the open, and it's just easier to right there tap it a couple times with your hand. They'll break off. Just go down the line, do one at a time. Don't do that one. That one's just a guide pin. I was just, hey, this is good, and then I cut it. As soon as I cut it, I knew it was in trouble. So that's it. I'm going to probably pop it on. I'll give an ending to this. I'll show you, because I haven't done this, so I'll see how bad it is to go on. Alright, use that sequence, and you won't break nothing. If you don't, you're going to be fixing it like I did. I had to make one of those up, and I had to glue one of the little guys on. So, alright, we'll see what happens when it goes on. Alright, brackets are on. You can see how they are. Like I said, the underneath is just a pinch on the body itself, just a stabilizer. So, alright, I'll get the running board and we'll try putting it on. No rehearsals. Alright, the only thing I did to the running board is put some grease on the clips to help them go in easier, because they're going into metal holes. Let me get it and let's see what happens. Well, there's nothing. Doors are open because of the weather strip. When I was taking it off, it seemed like the weather strip was hindering it. Just want to make sure that that's it. Make sure that's on the outside, not the inside. There we go. Alright, here we go. Let me double check the front. Don't feel like making this up. Front's good. I want to make sure it's inside of the fender liners. I hate to say it, just snapped in. I'll be damned. I'm just pushing on the inside instead of trying to push on this. Make sure that they're in. And there's the rocker panel falling off. Play it safe, I'm going to have to go underneath. Make sure. That's his cardboard. This is how I got it off. That's why you don't have any funny pictures. Alright, let me look, make sure they're all locked. What we got? But you can see I'm perfect from down here, so. That one's in. Yeah, it just popped right in. I think putting the grease on there helped it, so it slide in better. That's in, that's in. That's in, that's in. There, they all popped in at once. Holy moly. How often does everything go right, huh? Both holes line up. That's it. Are they doing the bottom bolts? What's that? So, you do it in the reverse order. Rear bolt, right there. Small screw here. And those 6 bolts underneath. You may have to open the doors too, because when I was cutting the clips, I couldn't move it. And as soon as I opened the door, the thing was just ready to fly out. Then you can shuffle, get down there, take those 6 bolts out. Then you kind of move it a little so you can get to that clip. Pop them clips. It's off. Then you can see what kind of disaster you got under yours. Alright. Hope this helps somebody. Man, I wish I could have seen this before, because that took me a long time to get all that crap figured out. And all I heard was just, well, you know, I had to pull it out and you thought, yeah, okay. Alright. Have fun, enjoy. Later.
Well, here's what the bottom looks like. It's all wrapped up, bolts in.
I hope this comes out good, because this camera sucks. That's it. I had to replace one of those 6. Didn't want to come out, so I had to drill it and then get it out of there. So it's got stuck an Allen in it for the time being. Well, I hope that helps. Later.